Well, hi guys, it's that time. It's our Bible teaching snippet of the day. Well, today I'm not going to pick up, I had planned to, by the way. I said something about going on and picking up on my teaching about these two words, aeon and aeonius. But today, I think I'm going to do one more Q&A. Yesterday I did a Q&A basically covering, well, if everybody ultimately will be reconciled to God, why should we even evangelize and just let them live any way they want and let God handle all of that later on in eternity? After they die? Well, the answer to that is clearly that we want the very best for people, don't we? I mean, I want people to know what I know about living in the kingdom and following Jesus, so their lives will be fulfilled. They will live the life that they were created to live, right? And they won't have the troubles of the world because Jesus has overcome all of that. And we want them to live in peace, because he promised us that. So yes, we want to evangelize and we want people to start following Jesus now because we love them and we want the very best for them. And then of course I covered where a few people asked me what was the reason for them to even live right and quit sinning and not fulfill their own lustful desires. Well, you know, I don't mean this in a insensitive way, but guys, I don't have a desire to sin. I love what Andrew Womack says. He says, I sin as much as I want to. I just don't want to sin. And I've always been that way. Since the day that Jesus came in my mother's hospital room, I haven't had to fight with my own desires and try to slap myself on the hand and say, okay, I can't live like this anymore, although I really want to. No, I just don't have a desire to sin. And he's replaced all of those bad, dirty, stinking thinking and my deceitful heart, and he's redirected my life toward him. But today, what I think I want to do is I've had several other people ask this question, and I think I just need to stop and do some Q&A because I don't want to leave people behind, and I like to answer questions so that as we go, we all are kind of headed in the same place. So I love to answer questions, and if you have questions, please send them to me. But here's the question I want to do today. What about people who say they have seen hell, that they either had a dream about it, a vision, or even maybe a near-death experience, or even a death experience and was resurrected, you know, like the paddles or whatever in a hospital, and that they experienced hell. And I want to say this so people that have had these visions or experiences understand. I don't make light of that at all. And I am never ever going to tell anyone who believes that they have seen or visited hell, been shown what hell is like, or someone who claims to have been in heaven or claims to have actually seen Jesus. I'm not ever going to tell anybody that they're wrong. I don't have that right to do that, and I would never impose that on anybody to make them think that what they thought they saw or did see was not correct. But I do want to say this, okay? As far as folks that say that they've been to hell or seen hell, this is really where I kind of fall on this, okay? What they saw is what was already in their subconscious of what they believed, okay? So we all are conditioned to believe things from early childhood, and especially if you're in the South or in the United States even, you're going to hear about hell if you're anywhere near religious people or in churches. So, and even if you don't remember it, even as a little kid, you could have been sitting there listening to that and it's imprinted in your subconscious. So let me, and a lot of people are like, oh no, that can't be, but let me connect some stuff to you so you can see that this is actually very much possible. So what they saw is probably based on their own conscious, unconscious, even their unconscious. Sometimes it's their conscious, what they already believe, and they know that's what they believe. Sometimes it's an unconscious belief that comes through in a vision or a dream, okay? And that's why some people who are not even saved and don't even believe in Jesus have a vision of heaven because they don't believe in hell, and vice versa. We have different people having different accounts, okay? Now, let me say this. Sometimes a vision of what somebody sees people in torment you'll recall I've said this more than once, and I do believe there will be a judgment and a punishment, but that punishment is only for a period of time with a goal of correcting the person, okay, burning away the dross, burning away the hay and stubble, purifying. It's God's pool of purification, and so it's purifying and burning away and getting rid of anything that's unholy and not of God out of them. Now, if we see that as flames, that's okay, except for that it's actually the word fire in the Greek. The Greek word for our English word fire is P-U-R, pure, and that's where we get our English words to pure or purify, to make pure, and things like that. So a lot of times when we cook something, it's to purify it, okay? So it's not, fire is not always so it can be destroyed. And that's what the Bible means by God is a consuming fire, is He will consume anything that is not good in us, right? Okay, so now, let me connect the rest of this with what people believe they saw based on their subconscious belief or even their conscious belief. Did you know, and one of the gentlemen, and I love him, I'm not going to name his name because I haven't talked to him to ask him if I can, but we went back and forth with some messages and we're very good friends. It wasn't combative or anger in here, okay? But we were just talking about, and he says, how is it that people say they've been to hell, and are you saying that they haven't been? And I told him, I said, well, you know, when I was a little girl, I would dream about Santa Claus. Now, we all know Santa Claus. I hope nobody's got kids around that believe in, but, you know, our parents will tell us as little kids that Santa Claus is real, right? And we need to be good so Santa will come and see us. We even have Santa all over the TV, all in our house. We even go to the retail stores and have little kids sit on Santa Claus's knee. You know, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Santa Clauses all over the place, and some are skinny, some are fat. Most of them have white hair, white beard, a red suit, a big black belt, and the black shoes and all of that, right? Did you know little kids actually have dreams about Santa Claus? And we all know Santa Claus is not real, correct? Let's talk about the Easter Bunny. Little kids will dream about the Easter Bunny. How about the Tooth Fairy? You know, so what it is sometimes we have dreams, and even little kids will watch cartoons and they will dream about those cartoons because it's implanted and printed on their subconscious. And look, I'm not making light of anybody and what they believe they've seen or any of that. I'm just saying that even if what they saw is 100% accurate, the Bible does not, in its original Greek writing, not in your King James English Bibles that was rewritten, a handful of words here and there, that was changed from Greek to Latin to English, and we moved some words around through, it's called being lost in translation. We've lost some of the Greek manuscript understanding and the purity of those scriptures, and now we're reading from Greek over, and sometimes Hebrew and Greek over into Latin, and then from Latin to English. And this, I'll throw this in today. One of the reasons the Eastern Orthodox Church has never changed their doctrine on hell, or ever had one, that they don't have a doctrine of hell, of eternal conscious torment in a place called hell. Because, see, they've always read the Greek scriptures, right? And they speak Greek, so there's no loss in translation for them, either in their Bibles or in their own language, like we've seen in the United States. So what happened is the Latin Vulgate had theology put into their Bibles when they translated it over to the Latin Vulgate by St. Jerome. And then from there, we took their translations and came out with our translations from the Latin Vulgate, which has given us in our own Bibles, honestly, guys, we've got contradictions in the Bible. And we just somehow through religion try to make those seem like they're not contradicting each other. But in all honesty, in our American Bibles, we've got lots of contradictions. And the reason for that is we lost some understanding from the Latin Vulgate into the English. But watch, the Greek or the Greek-speaking people, the Eastern Orthodox Church has never changed their doctrines because they've never changed their Bibles, and they've never changed their doctrines because they've always understood, spoke, and read Greek. And so they understand clearly what was written originally in the Greek scriptures. So guys, I hope that has answered a couple of questions. I've had more than one person ask me that question. So I hope I have done justice with my answer. I'm going to sign off today, and I will see you here tomorrow. I love each and every one of you and pray the very, very best for you. And please hang in there with me. I'm going to go one step at a time to show you that this religious lie of hell and eternal conscious torment lasting forever and ever is a Roman Catholic doctrine that we were tricked into believing, and we need to believe bigger and better things for Jesus and our Father. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.